Yeah, my name is Ekpe, your regular host on this Bioethics channel. Today we are going to be looking at the concept of undominant as basis for African environmental ethics and values. We are looking at the issue of environmental sustainability based on this Igbo concept of undominant. On the same with me is Monsieur Mecheta, the specialist in environmental ethics and values. So we're going to tell us today about especially on this concept of undominant and how you people seek to apply it as a basis for environmental sustainability and ecological peace.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Once again, my name is Monsieur Mecheta. I actually specialize on environmental ethics. I'm equally a participant in African environmental ethics research group and values. The mmili concept is an Igbo theoretical framework that is being propagated by the African environmental ethics and value research group. And what it's just talking about is using an Igbo, adage that captures everything that we need to do to keep our environment safe, mmili, which translates in English to mean live and let live. In other words, it's a kind of theoretical framework which allows for accommodation, ecological peace, ecological harmony. What this theory is just talking about, this theoretical framework is talking about, is that every being in the biotic environment, the biotic sphere, or in the ecological community, they are participants. You understand? They are more of, they are participants in creation. You cannot do anything in isolation. Every being, irrespective of their ontological placement in the universe, all of them deserve our respect. The fact that this one is a plant, this one we are human, we are the higher animals, does not mean that we should checkmate, we should bring them down, or we should exploit them. So what we are talking about is that the respect, ecological respect, ecological harmony, ecological accommodation, peaceful cohabitation with nature, which is against exploitation of the environment. So live and let live. Man should live. Plantations should equally be allowed to live. Animals should equally be allowed to live. We shouldn't be lording it over them just because of the fact that they are the lower, these ones are they are not animals or they're not humans. Then we now see the environment as a resource to exploit or to utilize them for our own selfish fulfillment or purposes. So mmili is an Igbo ecological sustainability, ecological peace and environmental sustainability theory, which fosters harmony, which fosters live and let live, which fosters ecological brotherhood in such a way that we see every being in creation as our tenants. It's like our tenants in the biotic sphere. They are our tenants, our neighbors.
As co-tenants.
Co-tenants. They are our co-tenants.
So you have to do the attitude of
brotherhood.
Being the steward of instead of conquering. The Bible says you should conquer, dominate.
So that dominant, they got it wrongly from Genesis.
So we must be shepherd of creation.
You understand? So that problem emanated from Genesis, that we should increase, conquer the world. Is multiply. That verse in the Bible is actually it triggers off or maybe encourages environmental exploitation, being that attitude of domination and because of the fact that it's from the Holy Book. The Holy Book has actually said we should increase and multiply. Therefore, it has placed man above every other creation. It's not conquest. It should be harmony. It should be brotherhood. So when you see what mmili is talking about, is that these beings in the biotic community are like our tenants. They are like our neighbors, our co-tenants. So we should accommodate them. We have to live and equally let them live. We are not lording it over them. There is symbiotic relationship between man and the environment. So that is generally what mmili live and let live.
Well, thank you for throwing more light. But I still find problem with this theory. Because as an Igbo person, that I'm grounded in Igbo ontology and Igbo culture, and we have some concept that we use to explain reality.
Okay.
Because the language philosopher, the language mirrors reality.
The reality, yeah. The analytic, yes.
Yeah. So when I look at the issue of dominant bias, literally translated life of water, life of fish, and within the context of eco-spirituality or environmental ethics and values, we look at it as something, there must be that genuine mutuality.
Yeah.
Because it's like
symbiotic relationship, give and take.
Spiritual life extends all beings in nature.
Yes.
So every being deserves that respect.
Yes.
But what I'm looking at is that when you look at dominant bias and I look at the issue of live and let live, they do not really agree in my own perspective. Now, dominant bias, life of water, life of fish, literally.
Yes.
Now, when you look at the environment, our attitude to the environment, that also shows the relationship of dependence. It's no longer, there's no symbiotic relationship. There's no genuine mutuality. It's a relationship of, it's a predatory relationship. It appears parasitic because let us assume now, water, there can be water without fish. Can there be fish without water?
No.
You see, okay, so now fish depends on water for sustenance, but water does not depend on fish. What does fish do to the water? What does fish contribute to the life of water? Now, water contributes to the life of the fish by offering the environment, the habitat for fish. But the fish does not even pollute the water. So this is also anthropocentric. It's just man-centered. It goes back to the problem of being. When we have a concept of being, that being is non-being is not.
But Pamani does.
Yeah. So this is also emanating from wrong notion of being. But if we come to what that open attitude of inclusiveness, then dominant should not be the right concept, because it does not really show live and let live. If the water dries, the fish will die. So if the fish dies, the water will remain. So there's no symbiotic relationship. There's no genuine mutuality. What I see rather is a situation whereby fish depends on water. Water does not depend on fish. So where is the mutuality?
No.
But when you look at it from the other angle, if you still go back to the Igbo linguistic approach, so I see the concept of meaning let the right hand wash left hand and left hand washes the right hand. You see this one, you see symbiotic relationship, you see mutuality. You right hand washing left hand washing right hand. They also look at the issue of say fall to my side and fall to your side. So so when you look at this, you understand that dominant does not portray ecocentric attitudes. It's rather anthropocentric or biocentric. But when we look at the issue of or that shows genuine mutuality. You help me, I help you. You rub my back, I rub your back. You support me, I support. That's mutuality, inclusiveness. So all existence in nature will then have right to live. But when we look at it from the concept of dominant bias, it's predatory.
Thank you so much for your critical evaluation. But I want to add that dominant bias is not an intellectual effort in futility, in the sense that to answer your question, the iconoclasm or your vituperations against the theory of live and let live, I want to use another Igbo, theoretical framework or saying to respond to your question, which says mmiri awuna azụ atana. In other words, mmiri atana azụ awuna. In other words, yes, let me respond to it. The water should not dry, and the fish
so that the fish should continue. Because if water dries, fish is in trouble.
By praying that the water should not dry, you are equally,
for the sake of the fish.
No, it's not for the sake of the fish. We don't want water to disappear in reality.
So that what we the aftermath of water drying is fish will no longer have habitat.
When you are praying for water, because water dries as well. Water dries. So the saying that miratana and azwamun is a way of saying that these two elements, that the components,
let them continue to exist,
let them continue to remain with that mutuality and cohabitation.
It's pseudo mutuality, so to speak.
Yes,
Because
it's not pseudo mutuality.
if mmili dries,
Yes.
that is the water dries. Mmili the water dries. The fish is in trouble. Fish has no habitat again. They won't fish from the water. Fish will die. So if the water dries, fish will die.
So,
but if fish dies, water remains.
The mmili azụ, your criticisms, there is no perfect theory. That's why we keep improving.
No, sorry, I don't have negative criticism.
No,
it helps us to understand the need to be guardians of creation.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
to sustain life on earth, because like Jimoda would say, being has no meaning outside humanity, or the universe has no meaning outside humanity. Man is the monarch of all things, but man comes to appropriate everything to his own advantage. That makes us to have that predatory attitude towards nature. But if we come to embrace it the other way, that I do for nature, when you cut one tree, you plant another tree.
It's not anthropocentric.
It's still one side, something depending on the other.
For us in African
that is famous life,
ethics,
living things existing. Bio
is
life.
Is bio.
It's centered on life,
living. Yes. It's not on man.
No, anthropo is man, human. Yeah, human.
It means that it is centered. It's man-centered.
Yeah. But when we talk of echo,
it's
everything, all beings in
the
nature,
environment, and all the beings in our.
And we understand that spiritual life extends to all beings.
Exactly.
So we have to approach them with attitude of respect.
So the
ecological harmony.
The another aspect that we are talking about here, Minatala, then Azwamuna. That saying uphold the ecological credo of coexistence. You understand that you should not die, water that habits me. Then don't forget that the fish equally plays a pivotal role. Yes.
In what sense?
The fish. Where does the fish reside? Is it not inside the water?
Inside water. They say prefer water. What does the fish in water? Fish pees in water, poo-poos in water, does everything, defecates inside water. So it's also a pollutant. You see?
That's the angle you are coming from. Your argument is actually valid. It's actually valid. But the truth of the matter is that the fish magnifies the water. The fish has a way of magnifying the water. It's equally giving relevance to the water to show that you are relevant to giving life to a living creature that you inhabit. You are a habitat. You are a habitat to the fish. So, because of the fact that you're a habitat to the fish, you are equally an ecological community
that we are very sustainable for your own good.
No.
For your own good.
No, for
sustainability is it is for your own benefit. So it's self-centered. So self-centered idea of sustainability. So you're not sustaining for that, for the sake of that which happens you. You're sustaining for your own continued existence.
Now, there is another Igbo saying that ekpe bere ugo bere nke si bi ebene ye gosi ebo de nkukwaya because nkukwaya is not
it's still the concept of live and let live.
Let live.
Yeah.
You
so
understand?
let everyone exist.
Now,
everyone has a place in creation. The way nature.
Now I want us to bring this. We are analyzing Igbo environmental ethics. Yes. Now I want us to bring the three should not what is it called? Ekpe bere ugo bere nke si be ebele nkwa akwala ya akwa kama ye gosi ebe oge ebe, which shows that brotherhood
and love.
You don't say the wind should break off so that the kite
that one, then you live alone. You cannot
alone.
Enjoy the world alone. That human connection,
yes.
The need for human connection, like the way we need water and food.
You understand?
So we need that human connection. Yes. And then the connection goes beyond human. Every animal has a place in nature. They have roles they play.
They try a placentempel theory of life force, where we have, we can equally relate it to this theory. In placentempel theory of life forces, it talks about the fact that reality is like a spider web.
Yes, and then
interconnectivity, that there is no how
you break that chain
without vibrating the entire web. There will be imbalance. So
imbalance.
In that theory of life force, it started from the inanimate objects, then to the plant,
yes.
Now to animals, then to man, then to our ancestors and divinities. Now, when you look at all this, you find out that using Placid-Tempel's theory of life force to portray the point of mmili, live and let live, that we are propagating or projecting in African environmental ethics, you will find out that all these things that we call the so-called inanimate objects, all of them are interconnected in a web of spiritual reality, that there is no how the inanimate or the plant will be affected without vibrating.
They do not exist for nothing.
They have purposed natures. That is what we are trying to say. So by the time you say that the plant should be, deforestation, go and clear everywhere. Don't forget that plant is part of the life, the chain of life.
You have brought a sort of imbalance.
You have cut off an aspect of the web, meaning that you have vibrated the entire web of ontological reality that binds and connects all the beings in the biotic sphere. You understand? So it's a very interesting area in African philosophy, in African environmental ethics, that we're trying to project to tell people that reality is not just, shouldn't be anthropocentric, because we cannot exist in isolation without other beings in the
environmentalists. We have to round it. What we are going to say is that the theory of mmili is very lucid.
And you have actually
provided a laid foundation for understanding the of environmental sustainability. Then we know that the propagating information. So what we are saying is that the idea of mmili propagated by late Ekwalo, of Philosophy Department, University of Lagos, is a good foundation for understanding the need to develop that attitude of environmental sustainability in whatever you are doing. And what we are trying to say here is that we can see knowledge does not end, it's a continuum. So we're adding the concept of akani kwake to that idea of mmili to fortify it more, so that the symbiotic relationship we're talking about will be achieved. And then all will know that you have a role to play.
And conclusively, don't forget that when you say anthropocentric, is man-centered. The fish is not a human.
Biocentric. No, when you remove it from that aquatic environment, look at it, the my relationship with the way I look at trees, I go cut vegetable, I eat, I cut, I eat. It's for my, so I need to plant. Deforestation.
This theory is very, very, very broad.
When you remove it from that context of the aquatic environment, then look at the way I relate with animals, the way I relate with trees and other stuff.
Yes.
Then when you bring it, you know that then when you look at it, how living things relate with non-living things.
There's another aspect that you are not getting here. To be sincere with you, anthropocentrism is man-centered.
Yes.
Fish is not man; it's a being in nature, which inhabits in water, which is part of nature. So let us not take it completely away from the fact that even the fish is a being in nature that must be sustained. With water that is equally a being in nature, so that two of them will be in nature.
Water is playing its role.
He's playing his role.
But I'm saying that we have to add the other issue of so that we'll use it to fortify that theory, so that it will be all embraced, it will become more ecocentric instead of being biocentric and anthropocentric.
And we really appreciate it, because I believe that it's going to be another way of improving on our research.
Exactly, that's
and adding oxygen to our research and everything. We are going to integrate it, and I'm going to communicate to our group that there is a criticism coming from the theory, because once you have a theory that is a kind of
you fortify it,
that you think it has all that means you have done nothing. There must be inadequacies, there must be loopholes, the weaknesses upon which, when improved on, we are going to have a better environmental ethic theory that will address the issue of environmental degradation.
Thank you very much. So stay tuned to this Bioethics channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And join us for more bioethical issues and challenges we are going to be bringing to you up there from African perspective. Very unique. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.